Hello and welcome to CineTracer 2 version 0.1.3. This is the living room update. There is a new living room map. We have a new C-stand rig and some new clothing and pose options for our virtual actors. Welcome to the hub room again. It keeps getting reorganized as we add more maps, and definitely this will keep evolving as time goes on. This is the new living room map. This is a picture of it, and we're going to talk to our little lens case and head over there. This should look kind of familiar if you've been playing the game and watching its evolution. We are in our soundstage, and there is a two-room set here, whereas the bedroom was just one room, kind of, if you want to think about it that way. And we have a living room and a kitchen, and we can start to see the evolution of the new props and walls and stairs, the environment system I've been building for this game. These are the lighting controls here. You can interact with them. This will turn off the space lights, which makes it very dark for making darker, contrasty scenes. In a lot of cases, even if the scene is dark, you can just leave the space lights on and expose down. It's nice to have some sort of ambient light at all. Next here is our couch lights. They're in the background next to the couch. This will change their color temperature to daylight. This is labeled as counter. These are kind of like over the island there. And changing their color temperature again. I'm going to put them back to tungsten. And finally here are the cabinet lights. The under cabinet lights, I suppose, is what they could be called. And those are the built-in lights for this set. Really quickly, it's fairly straightforward. We have some couches, there's some tables. There's no TV here yet. That might be coming in the future. And this door is one of our new systems. It's a fairly realistic door. Door is very exciting. Maybe, maybe not. But Unreal Engine 5 gives me the ability to make these in a new way. And they have hinges, and the lighting and everything I think is looking rather realistic, especially, realistic enough for this kind of system. And cabinets and counters and whatnot, those got built out for this, and eventually they'll be part of the building system. Last thing to call out before we look at the new assets are that both windows have these horizontal blinds, which don't make the best Venetian blind pattern on the background, but you can shoot a spotlight through it, and it's okay. The shadow tech is still evolving in Unreal Engine 5. And it's not too bad. I guess the last thing is that we have our lighting grid up here. This is my current vision on how pre-built grids will work. They do one-to-one lineup with the sets, the way that I build them. And, throw some lights up there. Let me know if you can actually make, the lighting setup you want here. It's not possible to make a custom grid yet, but that might be needed in the future if this proves to be inadequate for, certain previs situations. In the inventory system, let's grab an actor here, and I am going to just place him in front and grab a light so that we can see what's going on. Something to note if you haven't been using the system yet or haven't used it very much and played with the lighting is that lighting just from the space lights and kind of the ambient light that I leave in the set isn't typically enough to make it look good on the actors. You will need some sort of light like this to kind of make them pop, to make the reflections look right, and that is on purpose. The light that's in the scene by default that I leave in the level for you is kind of just supposed to be ambient, and again, it doesn't make the actors look very good. So this is perhaps a little bright, but that's not a bad thing when we're just demoing some of the new content. I'm going to change the haircut to something, I don't know, one of these. We'll use this haircut, and we're going to go with some facial hair because I have facial hair in the system. The clothing system, very raw. This is going to be, honestly, years of building out the clothing. I'm building these in a very specific way for metahumans, and to make this character system have as many options for clothing as possible. It will take time to build out, though. These are kind of the generic ones that we started with, and this is the brand new leather jacket. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's a new workflow that I've been using to make clothes, and, is looking pretty good while remaining somewhat performant and not costing too much to render, which is important if we have scenes with lots of metahumans in it in the future. And that's it for the male clothing. I'll switch to this. And again, the pants and the shoes, I haven't added new ones yet for him. Let's bring out the new outfit for our female actor, and we'll place her right there. And for this one, we're going to want no hair in this case, and these are like the kind of older clothing and when I added last update. And this is the latest one. I'm going to scoot just a little bit closer here. And for this outfit, we don't want pants because it's like a whole dress, so you wouldn't want pants under it. And none of these shoes are very good, actually. Oh, that shouldn't be in there. Oops, don't use that one. But none of these shoes are actually final shoes. They don't work that well with their feet at the moment, so we'll just kind of make them darker. It's fine for now. That's what we have. Maybe these ones are a little bit better. They're all pretty bad options for shoes at the moment. So this is the first outfit where there's a headpiece, like a hat, pretty much, a scarf, headscarf. And it's the first one that has almost proper skins for it. So in the old system, you were able to like customize every aspect of the outfit color-wise. This is not going to be happening for a while here. I'm going to try to make all of the skins, skin options available, and they would be showing up like this. So this is kind of also part of the evolution here of building the character clothing system, which will again take a very long time to flush out. But you know, I'm on track. I'm on pace with this, and it should eventually go a little bit faster as I have more and more pieces. So these are the two new outfits, and let's check out the new pose here. We're gonna go here, and there'll be more of these as time goes on, and maybe a custom pose system in the future. But there it is, amazing, our couch pose. This pose was designed specifically to fit well with this. Actually, that doesn't look too bad angled. I'm actually not mad at that at all. But it was designed to be placed like this. And in the future, and maybe even next update, it's getting to be pretty important, is that there'll be an option for them to snap perfectly into place. That's more important for things like vehicles and beds and stuff. Like with the couches, he could kind of go anywhere. But certain poses are really perfectly fit for certain props. But that one's pretty flexible, and you can move it around as needed. We still can't change where they're looking. That is another update that needs to happen. But we're building out poses that specifically fit the furniture. So hopefully this is starting to make sense. Her outfit isn't skinned very well on the legs for sitting down, so I'm not going to make her sit at the moment. And I'm just going to line up a bit of an over-the-shoulder shot here like this. We'll see. That's what I'm planning anyway. So let's look at some of the new film equipment here. Scooting back, and I'm going to move the position of this light to be over here. And we're going to come from the side just a little bit more. Something like this. So what if we want to control this light and make the scene darker while still keying him, right? So what do we have for options for that right now? This came from the launch, I believe. I believe this was on the first version, is that we can add a modifier, which is a lighting grid. Now, if we look at what this is doing, it's not very much. It looks like it covers the whole light, but it's actually just looking at it from the side. This boxes it in a little bit, but not very much. We need to continue to cut the light off of this set, or rather that is our goal right now. We're going to go and get our brand new C-stand flag combo. So here is our C-stand. I'll place it right here in the light so we can see it, and let's look at some of the options for it. The first is all the way at the end. We're going to open it. So there's our C-stand open so that it doesn't fall over. It can't fall over. Next, we have our flag selections. We have none. Exciting. We have a 4x4 solid. We have a meat axe, 4x8 or 4x4 floppy, and that is it for now. Let's switch this to the meat axe, and we'll look at the next parameter here, which is its grip mode. So this is the default, kind of just like if you were to pack it away, it would look like this. Next is topper. So it's set up in the typical configuration you have if you were trying to make a top cut, which we will do in a second. This is bottomer for bottom cuts. Tabled for bouncing, kind of. The way that it's gripped, the arm in the air is pretty scary. Not the safest thing in the world, but it does get the flag in the right place for bouncing light. And this is upright, which we'll use for siders. So let's switch this back to topper. Looking good. And let's look at kind of how the shadows are performing in Unreal Engine 5 is really what this is testing. And I'm going to struggle to remember the hotkeys for my own game. And we're going to place it right here. Oh, snapping it to the stand is not what we want. And our goal is to start taking light off of the background. So I'm going to edit this one. And now we want to look at the height of the flag. And we can see the shadow being cut through the wall. And we're looking to, again, take light away from the background while keeping it on our foreground. Something like this looks pretty good. So let's examine this in 3D here. We have our C-stand, 40-inch C-stand with a meat axe with a topper. I'm just going to go for a little bit of a walk so we can see the perspective. Also, I'm very, very happy with the environment system so far that we've been building out, and the lighting in UE5. It's all very realistic feeling, to be honest. Bounces and just renders really nice. So I'm pretty happy with this whole Unreal Engine 5 thing is going pretty well. Let's move this a little bit over. And while this shadow projection is not like the most accurate in the world, it is soft and kind of nice looking. So I think it works pretty well for previs. There. So we have our topper, and let's add another one. We're going to add a cider. So we'll bring it out into the light just to kind of, again, go over how the system works. We're going to grab a 4x4 floppy. In this case, we're going to want to switch it to upright mode. That's the one meant for the floppies. And just so that it looks nice, I'm going to open the stand. And then it's all about getting this placement here. So we want to rotate it, and we kind of want to keep it on the left side here because I'm planning on putting the camera on the right side. And we just want to place this kind of like we would in the real world. These shadows are a little sharper than they would really show up. Like this would be a pretty soft cut IRL, but still it does function to kind of like rough it into pre-visit. So we have boxed in our light a little bit. The angle of this flag is a little funny. I might tweak that a tiny bit, though it's obviously getting its job done. I'm just going to make it a little bit more perpendicular to the light. And let's cut it here. So maybe not the best lighting setup in the world, but let's just like take a peek at it. We have our cider cut, the 4x4 floppy, and our top cut, cutting this medium softbox off of the back wall, essentially. And we'll go get a camera, and we can do a bit of before and after. Here's our camera. We're going to zoom right in. I'm going to come a little bit from the side. I had kind of planned on doing an over-the-shoulder medium here. Smash right into this set. Pretty good. And something like that. It's probably an okay placement. Around 100 ISO works pretty well for these sets so far, these stage sets. We're going to go into anamorphic. And we're zooming in to a medium here. Hitboxes on the metahumans are not really set up yet, so getting focus on them might require you to go to manual focus every once in a while to kind of finish it. Here we are in kind of an over the hip, maybe over the shoulder would be interesting to kind of show the back of the headscarf a little bit. I think this works pretty well. So we're in a medium shot, and I can't change where he's looking yet. That's definitely one of the next changes for the posing system, but how is it like really high? Because I kind of want to see the back of her headscarf, because that's what I spent a couple days making. I like how it turned out. I think that's a pretty interesting shot here. And let's take a screenshot with Y. I'm on controller on PC. So this is our medium shot, over the shoulder shot with the flags in. And again, the design of this storyboarding system, or however you want to think about it, the saving system to some degree as well, shotless system, is that it's designed so that we can make iterations quickly. So I'm going to move the flags out like this. And that's our camera position. And we're going to start driving again. We'll go in. And that's with the flags gone, which maybe is hard to tell the difference because we had to like kind of come back. And we've maybe forgot what it looked like before. But that is what the shotless system is for. We're going to bring it up here. And this is the shot without the flag, so a little bit bright on the background. And if we go to the previous shot where the flags are in, the background is darker. And this is kind of the design of the system, is to enable stuff like this to be hopefully easy. We're showing a director, we're figuring out lighting setups for ourselves. We just make different setups, take a screenshot each time to save it, and then save the project definitely at the end too. And it should be relatively easy to demonstrate, visualize different lighting setups, different blocking configurations, different camera placement, etc. So that wraps it up for this update. A new set has been built, new clothing. I'm looking to add more clothing faster. I'm just still working on my workflow, and a little bit of new film equipment. That is generally what we're looking to do here, is build into those systems primarily. And then, as we go along, we need features to the main system, like being able to delete things, change color, all the stuff that CineTracer 1 can do. We're looking to bring most of that here, perhaps in a new way, but that is this update. Hopefully there's another one next month. That is the general idea, and I will see you on the next video.